Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to tell a story from the second section of my book called Boyhood Trials. This story is titled More Spots Than a Giraffe. I have a confession to make, though don't expect me to say, "Bless me, Father, for I have sinned." I'm through with that, and have been since age 14. Funny that I mentioned 14, since what I have to confess first took root in my brain when I was 14. Coincidence? I don't know. In any case, I make no apologies for what I feel, for what I wish to confess. I hate tall people. There, I said it. It feels good to say it, even though I realize I have no rational reason to dislike them, that I shouldn't blame all the tall people of the world for what I experienced at 14 years old. But hey, a person has to blame or hate someone, doesn't it? What would be the point of being an unhealthy person otherwise? Here's the event that triggered my feeling. I played intramural basketball my freshman year at Bishop Loughlin Memorial High School in Brooklyn. I was the shortest kid on a team of short kids, which is why the other teams referred to us as the short team, from the short homeroom 101. One day we played a team of tall kids, referred to as the tall team, from homeroom 105. The shortest of them was a half-foot taller than the tallest of us. Why the school put all the short kids in one homeroom and all the tall kids in another, I never understood nor bothered to ask. Needless to say, the tall kids were not only the tallest team, but the best team. That alone taught me one of life's rude lessons. Tall equaled best. Tall equaled success. Only in fairy tales did David beat Goliath. What I'm about to tell is not a fairy tale. It's the story of annihilation. Even that word underestimates the truth. From the moment the game started, the tall players acted like tall people. They stood long-legged. They raised their long-limbed arms high in the air. They blocked our view of the basket. If and when my teammates shot the ball, they did so blindly. The same for when they passed the ball and dribbled it, turning it over to the tall team time after time. I didn't want to be blind. I wanted to see the light at the end of the tunnel, that being the basket. I thought I could use my quickness to get around them and drive to the hoop. I did in fact do that numerous times, dribbling past one, then another, using my shortness as an advantage, believing what they couldn't see, they couldn't guard. Each time, as I believed I was en route to score, I watched my shot get blocked by the same kid, who stood under the basket daring me to try to score. On 3 separate occasions he blocked my shot, and each time said the same words to me. "Get out of here, you shorty." Only he didn't use the word shorty. He used a worse word to refer to short people. I won't use the word, but you can imagine what it was. He was a red-headed, freckle-faced kid. I could have told him he had more spots than a giraffe, but it wasn't in my nature at that moment to insult anyone, especially someone who towered over me and blocked my shots. On the other end of the court, they had an easy time of it, lobbing the ball over our heads, laying in soft shots, not even bothering to shoot jumpers from more than 10 feet away. They laughed, insulted us, using that worse word again and again. It wouldn't have been as bad if no one had kept score, but there was a scorekeeper on the sideline calling out updates after each of their baskets. 10-0. 16-0, 20-0, 24-0. One of my teammates, a short mustached Italian named Enzio Vecchi, said to me, "When is this going to end? We're getting killed." I told him I didn't want it to end. I wanted to score. I had to score. It was about honor. I stopped driving to the basket. What was the point if it meant my shot was going to get blocked and then I'd get humiliated, being called a name I hated? I became as blind as my teammates. I took long, ridiculous shots over outstretched arms, shots 25 to 30 feet away, further than a three-point shot in the current NBA. One hit the backboard, another touched the rim. Most hit nothing, landing in the large hands of tall kids. As we ran down the court, Enzio said to me, "It's hopeless. We're not going to score. Let's just quit while we're ahead." I told him what he said made no sense. We weren't ahead. We were behind, really behind. He said he meant before we got slaughtered even more. If nothing else, we got good exercise chasing after the tall team as they scored again and again, looking like a team doing layup drills before a game. Unless I was mistaken, I didn't recall them missing one shot. Remarkable when in comparison, we hadn't made one. Meanwhile, that kid keeping score poured salt on our wounds, calling out the updates. 30-0, 36-0, 48-0. Then came the voice Enzio had been waiting for. 1 minute left. Enzio said, "Thank God." I wasn't about to thank God for sending destruction and humiliation to the earth, making short people feel like ants under the feet of tall people. I was mad. Basketball wasn't baseball or hockey. A team wasn't supposed to get shut out. I was sure no team in the history of the sport, albeit intramural, had ever been shut out. They scored 3 more times in a little more than 30 seconds. The damn scorekeeper shouted 54-0. I heard 20 seconds left. Enzio held the ball out of bounds. I said, "Give it to me. Hurry. Pass it to me." He wanted to know why. "Pass me the damn ball," I yelled. I took the inbounds pass. I faced the tall, laughing kids having fun at our expense, beating us badly, calling us that worst name. They knew, and I knew, what I didn't want to know, that they were the best. They were primed for success in life on the basis of their being tall. Those like me were destined to be nothing more than their foot servants. I hated them. I dribbled past one, then another, and another, these giggling giants in my path. I heard 10 seconds. I saw the basket. I saw the freckle-faced kid who had already blocked 3 of my shots. I saw him grinning. I smelled his bad breath. I made it seem like I was going to keep driving all the way to the basket. But I surprised him. I stopped on a dime. I raised the ball to shoot, then pulled it back. He left his feet, his arms raised high. When he came down, his foot landed on mine. He said, "Ow," along with "shit, fucking piss." He lost his balance and fell to the floor. I heard 5, 4, 3, 2. There it was, the basket, unprotected. I threw the ball softly off the backboard and watched it drop through the net. 1. Game over. As I stood towering over the fallen, freckle-faced kid, as I saw what looked like spit in his eyes, I discovered my heart of darkness. I felt it burrowing into my soul. It felt good. I said goodbye to my days of shy politeness. I realized there was more than one way to slay a giant. My weapon was words. "You have more spots than a giraffe," I said. I stepped over him and didn't look back, not even after I heard him call me that worst name again as I moved away. I didn't care. I had better things to do. I ran into the arms of Enzio. We jumped up and down, celebrating as if we had won the game. Final score, 54-2, the scorekeeper shouted. What a beautiful sound it was.